All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming out. This is our 11th annual summer showcase. My name is Gilbert Iroegas, and I'm the director of this fine group of your children that you'll be seeing tonight. So tonight you'll be treated to performances by each of our sections. You'll also get to meet the staff that is working with each individual section. We're just going to put on a little demonstration of some exercises that we've been working on over these last 2 weeks. The point of tonight is to kind of give you some insight as to why your children have been spending 12 hours at school before school starts. So hopefully you'll see some improvement if you've been in the past, been here in the past, and you'll be pleasantly surprised if this is your first time as a band parent here as to what they're able to do in such a short amount of time. So that's our goal for tonight. I remember when I was in high school and I used to come home from practice, my dad always asked, why do you have to be there so long? Can't you just get it right the first time? So hopefully we'll give you some insight into what goes on here and what we'll be working on as the season goes on. Before we do that, I just want to thank you all for all the wonderful food that many of you provided. It was delicious. Thank you so much. Feel free to, yes, thank you. Applaud yourselves. In particular, whoever brought that delicious cheesecake that I enjoyed towards the end of the meal, thank you so much. All right, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start with our first presentation. The color guard is gonna start off, and our color guard instructor Cameron Cornejo is going to talk a little bit about who is on his staff and what you'll be seeing tonight. So, Cameron.
Hi, good evening. My name is Cameron Cornejo. I'm the caption head of the color guard here at Cupertino High School. There, let's see, I feel like. So if you have never been part of a marching band program, the color guard is responsible for the musical effect of what the band is playing. So we pick up all the musical rhythms and notes, and we translate that into something visual. What we do here at Cupertino is not only just color guard, but we also like to push the art, specifically the art of dance here. So we spend not just a lot of our time spinning flag, but dancing. To help assist me with that is Mario Barone. He dances with SJ Dance Co., a professional dance company located in San Jose. He is getting his BFA in dance at San Jose State, and also Sarah LaValle. She just graduated last spring in her BFA in dance. She's a phenomenal teacher. She teaches at local studios, and she's been teaching for a very long time. And also I have alumnus Shafali Ventrakamani. She has been fantastic help. She's picked up a lot of things that we've taught her, and she's been able to translate it to the students, new and old, to help them be successful for the start of the season. So right now we're going to show you an exercise. It's the carves exercise. It not only utilizes the manipulation of the flag, but it involves technical aspects of dance using plie releve and also directionality, something that would be similarly given on the field, because if you've ever seen a marching band show, the color guard never stands in one spot. They're constantly like running back and forth and then tossing things in the air. So that is one of the exercises we're showing tonight. Yeah? Yes. So that's one of the many exercises that we have to help them find coordination and utilize their bodies in different ways than probably some of them have never used before. How many of you guys used to dance before you came to Color Guard? Awesome. How many of you done any? Oh, can you hear me? How many of you done any kind of performing art before Color Guard? So there's very few of them out of the 23 we have in the group, and they kind of learn everything here, and we teach it to them. Another thing that we are going to show you tonight is tossing, something that we all love to see. We like to see things go up in the air together and come down together. So we're going to show you just a basic exercise of one of the basic tosses we do in Color Guard. 5, yes? Yes. Everyone counts.
All right, thank you, Guard. Thank you, Cameron. So lots of techniques that go into this. Not only are we trying to achieve that every single student is able to accomplish the exercise, but also to look the same while doing it. So a lot of coordination, a lot of technique that goes into it, a lot of explanation, a lot of reads, redo, review, revisit that goes on. To get to the point where every single student is accomplishing the technique and accomplishing it while looking the same. All right, next we're going to feature our front ensemble. These fine instruments are going to be played by these students who are hiding. Our ninja section here, there they are. All right. Gabe Bokarin is going to talk to us a little bit about the pit section and their role, and he's also going to introduce his staff.
Cool. Hi, my name is Gabriel. I am in charge of the electronics and the front ensemble. My friend Chavi is over in Indianapolis. He is also the writer for the front ensemble. The front ensemble, their main role is to provide support through sound and also add different textures that the band and drums do not provide. And also, they are the first faces you see, so usually I try to tell them to go ahead and perform so that their faces can be seen. We're going to go ahead and perform a exercise called Brooklyn Bridge. It is a variation on one of our exercises. The exercise focuses on 4 mallets, so instead of having 2 sticks, they have 4, so 2 in each hand, and it focuses on the distance in between the notes.
And just like that, they're gone. Thank you very much, Pitt. All right, next we're going to feature our drum line. They're going to go ahead and put their drums on and head on out to the field. So later on today, you'll be seeing the different elements being put together and hearing performances of our first two movements of our show. So as you get to hear each group, you can see the amount of coordination that it takes to put these groups together into a complete performance. So, all right, next, Colin Whitcomb, our drumline instructor, is going to come on out and talk a little bit about drumline.
All right. Hi, my name's Colin. I am the drumline caption head here at Cupertino. This is my third fall season here. In addition, Chavi and I have been working together in the winter season for the winter percussion, so I guess this is like my 7th season here at Cupertino. So the drumline, for those of you who are new to marching band or the marching activity, the drumline's responsibility for this activity is to be the tempo for the band. Okay, it's as if you're listening to a normal band. The drum set player is normally what's guiding everyone along. That's pretty much the drumline's role for marching band. To give you a little bit of insight, we have 4 different types of drums: snares in the center, quads, the ones that have actually 6 drums and not 4, toms in the back, and then bass drums on the side. They all have a variety of different music and techniques required to play each instrument. The exercise we're going to play is called Shuffle the Cards. It's a triple exercise that works on double strokes, which then relates to roll figures and different types of rudiments. Okay, here we go. So that was just one of many different exercises we play. And as you know, band camp has been a long 2 weeks. To give you like a little insight again, this year is very different for the drumline than last year. Last year we had no freshmen in the drumline, and we had about 10 members in total. This year we have almost doubled the size, and we have 7 freshmen, about, okay? So it's really cool to have a lot of new kids join. So it's cool to have our numbers grow. And none of this would have been possible without the awesome staff we've had here. A lot of the staff that's here normally throughout the school season is off either marching or teaching drum corps. But for band camp, we've had Axel Aquino and junior staff, as we like to say, recent graduates, Akshay Bade and Rachel Walker coming in to help us throughout band camp. Throughout the normal season, it's me and then Axel and then Will Edmonds and Nick Cordoni. So it's a big staff, big group of kids, and it's a lot of fun.
All right, thank you, drumline. All right, next we're going to feature our entire horn line that's been quietly seated over here. They're going to put on a couple of demonstrations, and we'll talk you through that. So, horn line's going to set up. While they're setting up, I want to piggyback off of what Colin talked about. We currently have several of our staff members and former members participating in drum corps right now. They're in Indianapolis competing for DCI finals. Tonight are the semifinals. Quarters? Semis. We have 3 former students participating tonight, we have Vivian Kung, who is a former drum major, participating with Blue Devils A Corps. We have Amadou Singh, who was one of our snare and tenor players previously, also with Blue Devils A Corps. And we have Jane Shea participating with Blue Devils B. And Christina Tao with Santa Clara Vanguard Cadets. So we have 4. We also have our current percussion, our pit instructor, Shavadith Tanturin, who is an instructor for the Santa Clara Vanguard Cadets. And Colin also is a instructor for the Santa Clara Vanguard Cadets, who just won DCI Open Class champions. So they were just crowned champions 2 nights ago, or 3 nights ago. So congratulations to our awesome staff that participate in those groups. All right, looks like the horn line is ready. Our visual capture, our visual instructor, Matt Costales, is actually en route to Indianapolis because he also works with Santa Clara Vanguard A Group. So he's not here tonight, but he has been here the entire band camp, and he's been working with these students on the visual part, which is the marching part. Everything visual refers to everything about how we look. Okay, so we have our guest instructor here, Lou Rosen, who's going to take us through some of these exercises.
Hi, so the past couple weeks we've just been working with these kids on the marching, the visual aspect of what we do here, and training them so that they have the technique, so that when we take all our show music and put it out on the field, they can play it and while marching and execute both of those elements at a high level, which is a very challenging thing to do, and they've all been doing a tremendous job these past couple weeks. We're going to just take them through a couple exercises. The first one is called snow cones. It deals with some direction changes and more difficult pathways. And the second is a sequential horn move exercise that tests their mental capacity and focus a little bit.
Snow cones. Horn manual is in. Group 1 going to the left first, then group 2 going to the right. Set.
So as you can see, lots of coordination goes into what we're doing right now. students are focusing a lot on their body posture, on the alignment of the body, also on the full leg extension as they take steps. One thing you may notice, if hopefully you'll come and attend some marching band reviews as groups are marching across. Some groups look like they're very uniformed and marching, and their bodies look very light as they move across the field. And some groups look like they're walking, not putting a lot of emphasis on posture or leg extension, things like that. These are the differences that you'll see between group to group. So we put a lot of emphasis on this. Your students, your sons and daughters have been very committed to making sure and thinking through all these exercises. They've been putting in a lot of effort. So although they're not perfect now, they're working very hard to improve on these every day, and we have seen improvement every day. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue with the next exercise.
What's the horn move exercise? Switch forward, keep it on the A. Left.
How about another round of applause for our lone marcher out there? That was pretty brave. All right. So next we're gonna do a little bit of playing. The horn line does some warm-ups also. We're gonna take you through a brief warm-up. This is a condensed version of what we do, but the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna incorporate timing in the feet, and what we mean by that is making sure that the feet. We're going to do something called mark time, where the students lift their feet off the ground and then re-engage on the ground. What we're looking for is for the feet touching the ground in tempo. Then we incorporate some air, some breathing. So the students will be breathing in on specific counts, breathing out on specific counts, stopping the air on specific counts. And then we'll add some notes to that, and then we'll do the exercise called Remington exercise. So what we're looking to build here is the communication between the tempo source, which right now is a metronome, the feet hitting the ground in tempo, then the air moving in the tempo that the feet establish. So once we establish those three things being connected, then our tempo improves, making our music sound more together. So we're going to take you through that exercise here. This is a horn line on their breathing and a warm-up exercise.
Okay, 4 air mono, 4 F concert, then Remington.
So that's one of the exercises that we do to warm up. We also do other ones to expand our warm up as well, but we'll spare you that for now. All right, next we're going to pull out the entire ensemble, and we're going to play through movements 1 and 2. Those of you who have been here in the past, traditionally we've marched a portion of our opener. This year I instructed our staff to take a little more time to work on the coordination of the start of our show. So we're not going to be marching anything tonight. Instead, we expanded the music that we normally do. So tonight you'll be hearing the first 2 movements, or at least the first movement and most of movement 2. So you'll get to hear a little bit of what our show is going to be. This year's show is entitled "The Earth We Share," and the concept behind that is the movement 1 highlights the earth and the beauty and splendor of earth. Movement 2 communicates the harm that mankind has done to the earth, so it sounds kind of angry. Movement 3, which you'll hear later on, we're not going to perform tonight. If you're familiar with any Michael Jackson music, it's entitled Earth Song. Beautiful song. That's kind of the reflective part of the show, where we kind of take a step back and take a look at what we've done to the earth. And then movement 4 is kind of ends on a more of a question. What have we done? What are we going to do from here? So throughout the year, we'll be adding more music and more show. So hopefully you'll see the progression of our show. Those of you who have been here in the past, you've seen that throughout the years, and know how fun and interesting it is to see the show from one week to the next grow and progress. So we definitely invite you to do that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and play through movements 1 and 2. Our drum majors will be conducting up from the front. So drum majors, whenever you're ready, call them to set. So these are some slightly slower tempos, and what will be the final tempos. These songs will be moving much faster whenever you hear them when they're finally up to their final speed. So looking forward to adding some drill to this, to completing the show, and looking forward to a great season. So far, the students have been really, really receptive. Staff has been on target with their message. So I totally anticipate this season to be another great one. We've had great seasons these last several years, and totally expect everything to stay on track. So I'm really excited. I hope you guys come out to see the performances progress throughout the season. One thing that we do ask is that you come on out. The final performance, the home show, or the second to final performance, the home show here on November the 16th to see the final product. So compare kind of what you're seeing tonight to then, and just recognize the progress that that's gonna be made. So much of what we do and the time that we spend here is divided almost equally to kind of the social growth, not only the musical growth and the everything that goes into all the techniques that we work, but we spend a lot of time making sure the students get to know each other really well. They do a lot of activities, a lot of fun activities, and that carries on throughout the season. So much more than just marching band per se, a lot of, hey, let's learn how to be good people and part of a team, and take responsibility and accountability for what we do. So a lot more than just what you're seeing out here right now. So hopefully your children are talking about that. Maybe ask them, hey, what's Mr. I talking about? Maybe they can expand a little bit on that. All right, a couple of people, we cannot do this without kind of behind the scene people, but can't do anything without these people. Our booster president, Mr. Ed Surratt, right down over here. He's always around the band room, sometimes more than I am. Does a great deal of behind the scenes work. Can't do it without him. Another one of our former students, alumni, Mr. Yunda Sai. Where is he? There he is. College student who spends his whole time back hanging out with his old band director, just seeing what he can do for his band, just because he's a great guy. So thank you, Yunda. Also another alumni, Miss Erin Au. I don't know if Erin's out here tonight. She's working actually in the band room right now, probably entering all the information from the forms that you turned in. And our staff photographer, Mr. Rudy Pollack, right over here. We'll be sending out emails and Facebook invites. I believe we already got one. All the pictures that he takes throughout the season, he takes some great photos. So he does a great job documenting our seasons. And where's all our alumni? I know you guys are out there. There you are. Always great to see you guys back. You know this is still your home. Once you wear the uniform, you're always part of the family. So keep on coming back, guys. All right, so we're gonna close out the performance. We're gonna close out the performance with with our band song, this "Over the Rainbow." Before we do that, I do want to point out one other staff member that we didn't get to point out earlier, assisting with our pit section, Miss Gabrielle Sippen, and she was here earlier. Must have just, oh, there she is. She's up getting the audience perspective. Thank you, Gabrielle. Did a wonderful job with our pit throughout band camp. Our next public performance, if you will, is September the 8th. That's our first home football game. Definitely come on out. That's the first time that the students are in full uniform. Really exciting that first day that they're in full uniform. We'll also take our official band photo that day. So pretty big deal. So definitely come on out and support us during that football game on September the 8th. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close out tonight's show with Over the Rainbow. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We look forward to seeing you throughout the season. Thank you for being awesome, supportive parents. Have a good night.